if you've been keeping in touch with Autocar, then you will know that recently, in fact, last year, 2024, the Tata Punch knocked off Maruti off the top perch for, well, 40 years is what we've always had a Maruti being the number one selling car. Last year, however, it wasn't the Maruti, it was the Tata Punch. And today, speaking to us about this feat and this achievement is Vivek Srivatsa, the Chief Commercial Officer for Tata Passenger Electric Mobility. Vivek, first of all, congratulations and thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you, Sergius. It's my pleasure, as always.
Right. So, Vivek, yeah, like I was just saying, after 40 years, we've had a non-Maruti at the top spot in terms of yearly sales. Quite an achievement. I mean, a lot of companies have tried this, to sort of break into the Maruti fortress. You've done that with, well, a punch, literally speaking. I just wanted to ask you, first of all, what do you think was the sort of formula that worked in the Tata Punch's case?
I think, there are different product philosophies, right? If you have to really cater to a mass market and achieve volume, broadly, there are two approaches. One is that take one brand and make that brand, a version of that brand available for a wide variety of customers. So you have many different variants, many powertrains, and all that. Or the other way is you try to find a beautiful sweet spot which actually fits a wide variety of customers. And I think Punch is the second one. It's in that beautiful sweet spot, which basically is one product which satisfies a very, very large set of customers. I think it's the most efficient way to achieve volume. Punch, I think it is fairly a simple product, not too many complications in powertrains. When I say complication in terms of number of choices you have, but gets the many fundamentals absolutely right. And that has been the focus right from the beginning. If you look at how the tastes of Indian consumers have evolved over time, these are something we factored inside and tried to achieve just the right size of, or rather right level of performance to keep a large set of consumers very happy with it. Yeah.
Right. So, actually, Vivek, it's interesting that you said you've not got too many powertrain options, because I always thought that it was quite a lot with also the number of variants. I mean, you've got, of course, the petrol, you have CNG, and you have electric, right? So I think that is one. While, of course, in the past 40 years, we've also had top sellers have multiple powertrain options, in terms of maybe petrol and not electric back then, but definitely CNG and things like that. So, do you think this, the add-on of CNG and of electric helped? And what would you say is like in terms of the contribution? Let's say last year. Let's not talk historically, but last year itself, what was the percentage mix for the Punch in terms of powertrains?
Punch, yes, CNG has made a big difference because I think it's added another much needed, I would say, powertrain, and also much needed product attribute to it. You have CNG, but at the same time, it's a dual cylinder CNG, which releases boot space. So literally no compromise for the customer. It's added quite a lot to the Punch volume. EV, of course, it's on a slightly different architecture. But since it's the same brand name, we will still go with it. It's by design. In terms of mix, last year, petrol was around 54 to 55%. CNG is about 33-34%. EV is around 12% is the mix currently within the Punch portfolio.
Right. So definitely, I think CNG has been, like you said, a good sort of addition.
Yeah.
And yes, just to clarify to our viewers as well, the dual cylinder technology. And I'm only clarifying this because very often we get queries asking, is it a two-cylinder engine? So, the dual cylinder you are referring to is the two cylinders for the CNG tank. Yes. No, it is innovative for sure. I mean, you get back the boot space, right, with two smaller cylinders. So, looking at the Punch, there's also the fact that it is marketed as, and it has these traits of an SUV, like a micro SUV, right? Whereas its competitors, be it Wagonrs or Swifts, are more sort of very clearly into the hatchback territory. Do you think this played a big part in sort of, dethroning its competitors?
Definitely, I think it's called an SUV, but if you look at its actual capabilities as well, it delivers. If you go back to October 21 when we launched it, we actually had these off-road
Yes.
kind of setups to showcase how capable it is and also how tough it is as a package. But it's not only the SUV performance, I would say. You take safety, on many months, it's been India's safest car. Space, the kind of space it offers, the comfort it offers to both front and rear passengers is, very surprising for that footprint. Ease of operation, fuel efficiency, with the CNG, obviously the alternate powertrain with the boot space. With EV, again, I think EV is not talked about enough, but with the active architecture, the kind of democratization of features that we did in the Punch EV, these are things that really has kept adding slices to an already delicious cake, I would say, and has kept customers very satisfied, I would say. And when we look at reasons to buy for Punch from our customers, the first thing is the design. I think it's I mean, at the cost of sounding a little bit vain, I'll say it is a classic design, not very complicated, but it's something which will settle well with customers initially, but also age very well. Simple lines and not very complicated. But at the same, so that is one of the first reasons people buy. But subsequently, if you see safety, fuel efficiency, reliability, features, performance, and people say performance, it's about fuel efficiency, engine performance, as well as on-road, off-road performance. These are the things that really kick in. So like I said right at the beginning, fundamentals are very strongly taken care of in the Punch, and customers are looking at that. And I think it's a combination of all this where they feel that when they buy a Punch, they're not compromising on any area, which is really working out.
No, absolutely. In fact, Vivek, I very often keep saying that, the Punch, to me at least, it's like this Goldilocks, as we say, the Goldilocks formula. I mean, we can complain, and I keep saying it, there's not enough power, but I guess it's just enough for everyone. There's enough of punch there. There's just enough of, space. There's just enough of everything. It's got the right mix. But there's something, Vivek, we should talk about also, and we spoke about some time ago on the EV side of things. You've seen some good growth, like you said, 10%, 12%, I think, is coming from the electric portfolio. What's happening also on, the reliability things there? I mean, we spoke about this last time. Where this growth has caught you all off guard. Has there been any progress since then?
Definitely, I think if you look at the month of December, Punch I did extremely well, along with Tiago actually. Some of the issues were related to software. Obviously, we had packed in a huge amount of new tech. You take it, whether it's the BMS or the kind of features we unleashed on the infotainment package or other V2V, V2L, etc., etc. It was a new architecture, but you know. Fortunately or unfortunately, it was software-oriented issues, but I mean, most of it, like all software issues, are sorted out now. Consumers of Punch EV are very happy. And I should tell you a personal anecdote. I was driving the Punch in the last week within Mumbai. I usually drive, a Harrier or a Nexon. Punch has been amazing in terms of how easy it is to drive around in the city, the Punch EV. So I think the issues of software are behind us, well matured now. All the features are working absolutely smoothly. And we are seeing Indian consumers immediately react. Every month, in the last 4 5 months, the Punch sale has been going up. And we are very positive about the Punch EV now.
Awesome. That's good to hear, Vivek. And speaking about also, well, competition. I just want to bring in this the tall boy design. I mean, you've technically it's like a tall boy, but like a SUV thing. You've got competitors also now realizing that this maybe is the way hatchbacks should be marketed in India. You'll have kind of at least proved that model. We've got the Kia Ceros or the Ceros, I think, as they pronounce it. Right, coming in with a similar kind of formula, let's say, tall boy, lot of space inside and things like that, and also very well loaded, something that you all kind of also do offer. Do you think that would impact the Punch sales, and what's the future for the Punch? In the in going ahead.
So, I mean, I think firstly, from Tata Motors, we take it as a compliment if people are, following our footsteps, which has been quite a lot, I would say, in the last 3, 4 years. And it's good. I think, I don't think with the case of SUVs going the way it is, there is always space for more SUVs in the market. It's not the first competitor Punch has, but I don't think it is very easy to replicate what you called as a Goldilocks package in the kind of pricing that we are giving Punch. So we are happy to face the competition, and we are quite quietly confident as well. Obviously, Punch is now what, about 3, little bit more than 3 years old. We probably it is due for some changes. I won't be able to immediately confirm when and what, but we have been following what we call as a new forever. We've been continuously updating the Punch. So we are not like other manufacturers where the end of 3 year cycle is like the last legs of the previous model year. We have been updating it continuously. Recently, we had a update where we updated with the infotainment package as well as some features on the Punch, which happened just 3 months back. So it is very much contemporary. We don't really depend so much on the 3 year cycles to keep the product fresh, and that has worked out very well for us. So coming back, I think new competition is welcome. I think it's going to get more people into the SUV bandwagon. Probably the other categories in the price point should be worried. And Punch is more than capable of, I think, continuing to deliver what it has. We've seen that in this category, in this price point, if you get the product right, the brand name become very, very important. For consumers who are generally safe buyers in these price points, they go with repeat value, the brand value. They go with word of mouth around them, and I think Punch is just now getting into that sweet spot where it's going to be really self-sustaining in terms of volumes. So I predict even more growth in the coming year for Punch with the kind of options that are already available.
So you'll hold on to the top spot for 2025, Vivek?
That has never been that was never our focus, to be honest, Sergius. Our focus was to deliver the product right, give options, obviously produce it. And the number one spot is actually, a derived benefit of what we were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And Vivek, you mentioned price twice, and I have to ask you this because yes, competitors coming in, let's say like Kia or whoever else, they're going to be at the higher end. Now you have done something, which is very difficult at a hatchback. You've seen a lot of hatchbacks sort of disappear. I mean, the Wagoner, which was a top seller or occupying number one spot for a few years in the past, its competitor, the Santro, died off, right? You all have come into a slightly different formula, made a success of it. How difficult is it to maintain this price point, and do you think that Tata Motors, you can continue to do so, with the offering that you have?
No, it's definitely not easy to maintain the price point, with regulations coming in, both in terms of safety, in terms of emissions, etc. It is not easy. And that is one of the reasons why you're seeing these fallout of hatchbacks in the last 3, 4 years. Our price, will move with the market prices. If there are regulations, we'll have to take it up. But it's a relative price that we will maintain. I think relatively, we will maintain the sweet spot. What will probably happen is expand the footprint of pricing. I mentioned that we have a larger touchscreen now for infotainment, and some new features have been added. And you will see in Auto Expo some other introductions that we'll make, changes we'll make. This will kind of expand the price footprint, but without losing key price points. Because like I said, consumers, especially in this category, they like to buy a product which is around them in the price point which others have bought. There's a lot of familiarity that we have to cater to. So it's a very fine-tuned balancing act that we need to do, where you maintain certain price points and value proposition, but at the same time keep introducing new features and new technologies at different price
Right.
points.
So you're saying you can take the price higher, but you won't let go of the lower price points.
Definitely, yeah.
And the brand, I suppose, like you said, is strengthened enough to take the price higher on the Punch.
Yeah, I mean, we have to, because if regulations demand it, we have to
Right.
be able to continuously stretch it, but without losing the fundamental positioning.
Great. And Vivek, last question before we let you go. I know you're not going to spell out everything, but what can we look forward to on the Punch in 2025?
I mean, definitely, when, like I said, we have not been a company who waits for 3 years to make introductions of features or changes. You will definitely see some changes happening on Punch. But you saw that last year as well. So we have believed in this more like a consumer durable, consumer electronic approach, where you make far quicker product upgrades. And we'll continue on the same philosophy next year as well, Sergius. Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much, Vivek, for speaking to us. And you never know, maybe we'll be speaking to you next year about this performance again in 2025.
Yeah. Thank you, Sergius. My pleasure.
Thanks, Vivek.